we want to identify what your personal goals are for attending conference and apply some of these goals to what I call some high gain actions. We're going to review some tips on how we can use technology as some technology resources for more strategic planning, what I call productive networking at conference, not just showing up to conference, but actually getting something out of conference, and ultimately preparing your personal conference plan, and I'll explain what that plan, what the components of that plan look like in a moment. Let me give you a little bit of background information, set the stage with some background information on my conference experience. So back in the day, this picture here is from back in the day. This was the main stage at conference. And for those who have attended in recent years, you know that things look a lot different now. I think this photo is from the 1991 conference in New York City. This year, being the 2015, will mark my 17th national conference attendance since 1990. Since then, I've attended conference twice as a student in 1991, 9 times as a corporate representative during my Merck days from 92 to 2000, and having left corporate America in 2000 and attended 6 more conferences since then, I've attended conference as an entrepreneur, or as I call it, solo entrepreneur, including in 2005, I had a chance to present at a workshop at the San Diego conference. That was just 10 years ago when we had to readjust things quickly for conference because of Hurricane Katrina, thwarting our plans to have it in New Orleans. So I give you that background because I've worn a wide range of hats and have experienced the benefits of conference, from summer internship placement to recruiting talent to being the face of a major corporation to, as an entrepreneur, hustling for clients, and of course, experiencing the best business and social networking platform for professionals. Oh, yes, and by the way, I've also stepped on stage, as we go back to the photo here, with fellow St. Louis chapter members as we hyped the New York crowd to get them ready for the St. Louis conference in the following year. So that little guy there on the right side is me, in a much different look than I look today. So it's to identify what your primary goal is, and then to develop your plan accordingly. Now, what is your plan? What is your conference plan? I break that down into the acronym of PREPARE, which are the things that we're going to focus on in this conversation. Learn throughout the course of conference. Learn from not just the workshops, but learn from every interaction that you engage in. Apply what you've learned. Apply what you've learned in the workshops. Apply what you are learning today. Apply what you will learn through working with the website as well. And of course, every opportunity, every connection is a networking connection at conference. Whether you meet someone in the hallway, whether you meet someone at the golf tournament on Saturday, whether you run into someone and meet someone, of course, in the more formal settings on the exhibit floor, at the career fair, or in a workshop. Every opportunity is a networking opportunity, so your plan should consist of these 4 components: preparing, learning, applying, and networking. The remaining of our conversation in this lunch and learn will highlight the preparation stage of your plan. What is that preparation stage? Well, first of all, going back to our goals. What are our goals? So if your goal is for education, then your preparation might look like identifying which sessions match your learning mission. And you want to go to the website, and this is the link to the website where it shows the conference schedule. Look at the conference schedule and identify which of the sessions you will focus on that fits your development goals. And as we're hosting the premier career fair for professionals Thursday and Friday, are really and truly the conference highlights. Now, it's a daunting task to experience, it's a daunting experience, I should say, to walk on the exhibitor floor for the career fair and see 18 aisles of companies and organizations and universities. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get lost in the maze. I have gone to conference unplanned, and you think you're going to get through all 18 aisles, and you get through 2 of them in 2 days, simply because you end up talking to many more representatives at companies that you didn't really need to talk to because you didn't have a plan. And so you're just kind of going aisle by aisle as opposed to going by your plan. So what you want to do, again, big tip is to map your targets before conference. Great resources and tools on mapping your targets before conference includes the exhibitors page on the website for the National Conference, as well as a new tool, or at least new to me, called Map Your Show. And both these links will get you to those components, and I'll share with you some screenshots and ways of navigating those pages in a moment here. And then if your plan, again, is if your goal is for the entertainment, or if entertainment falls as one of your goals, I'm going to, give you this heads up. So the evening socials are a blast for sure. Want to learn from an old head like myself, that is to pace yourself. It is easy to start strong on Wednesday night, and because of all the excitement that's going on, the next thing you know, you've missed half of Thursday morning trying to recover from Wednesday night. Don't get caught up in too much partying, yet certainly enjoy yourself. And remember, if employment or entrepreneurship is your primary purpose, someone is always watching, and you need to always be closing. ABC networking is what I call it. So whatever you're doing on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, remember, if you're trying to get a job, you're trying to get a client, close a client, ABC networking. Always be closing. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. They also have available to us, you don't need to wait for conference to get to the conference planning guide. You can download the conference planning guide in PDF format to get more details on each of the sessions and the things that are happening at conference. You can already download that using this particular link as well. Now let's look at some of the screenshots. In particular, let's go to the exhibitor floor map that is available to you on the website. And I just, again, took a screenshot. You'll see this is the same URL that I showed earlier in the slide presentation. But if we click on exhibitor floor map on this page, that will get us to this general page where you then want to navigate over here to the floor plan. Now this general page, you see you can identify your featured exhibitors, exhibitors by alphabet, the exhibitor list PDF. You can download that. I would recommend that as well. And it will show not only the exhibitors, but their booth numbers in a PDF. Download that, have it on your mobile device. You will also have a number of other resources, but for now we're going to focus on the floor plan. If we click on the floor plan, what that will get us is this look, and this goes to the Map Your Show portion of the website. Now, this floor plan is your best friend in preparing to navigate the career fair, whatever your purpose is, employment or entrepreneurship. This is the best friend for navigating a career fair. I've used this to prepare my targets in past years. As you can see, I don't know if you can see my arrow in the screen or not, but as you can see, there's, as I said, 18 aisles of exhibitors. The floor plan is online. There's one of the things, if this were the live website, as I scroll over, I could click on a particular booth number, and it would provide a pop-up that would show what exhibitor that is. You can also go up here and search the show and search for specific exhibitors or categories that you want to focus on. And you'll see over here, as you do your search results, will show up. The booths will show as yellow. And if you want to select an exhibitor, it will show as red. Wonderful tool. What this does is this helps you to not just start at aisle 200 and say, let me start over here and go down aisle 200 and talk to the 5 or 6 or 10 companies here, and then I come down to aisle 300. That's not what you want to do. You want to open your plan and say, well, my first stop is at booth number 226 because it has X company there. My next stop is at booth 525. And that's how you get to having conversations with your 10 or 20 or 30 targeted companies to have a conversation with.
And I just want to add, for those who are on the line and they can't see, all of this is in the deck that we will send out later. So the links that Darrell is referring to, obviously you may not be able to see. He's kind of walking through the floor plan, but these are actual live pages on the conference website. So you'll be able to navigate. So once you get the link to the webinar and the deck, you'll be able to better understand and visualize what he's describing at this point. But just hang in there. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for that, Leslie, because I forgot some people are not seeing what I'm talking about right now.
Right.
Now, what I'm showing now, for those who can see, the next slide is a screenshot of a spreadsheet that I've used in the past where I've combined the exhibitor floor plan, which has been available for many years. Many people haven't used it, from what I gather when I talk to folks. But what I've done in the past, this is my targeting that I've used for targeting clients, potential clients. I will go to the exhibitor floor sheet, identify which companies I need to have a conversation with, put a description, copy the description of the company into the spreadsheet, what booth number that company is in, the company's name. I'll identify, if you see over here where it says contact notes, I've blocked out some of these because these are just some personal notes that I've kept over the years. You'll notice that this is actually a screenshot of one worksheet of a workbook from many years of attending. So I've got a 2007 targeting tab, 2008, 2009, 2010, and then 2011 as well. So I use a spreadsheet for a number of years. And so sometimes, a note may say, if you see up here where it says contact notes, in 2010, I talked to this person, Naomi Ricketts, at Cornell University. So, for 2011, I was going to go by the Cornell booth and say, hey, Somi, are you still, is Somi still here? That kind of thing. So I've got my notes there already, got my connection, my networking notes there. And these networking contact notes, I'm taking that from previous conversations, previous conferences, from notes that I have on particular contact in my Google contacts, maybe some information that I gathered from LinkedIn. So I'm bringing all of that information. I'm not just using, the conference information. I'm actually using all of my contact and networking resources, LinkedIn, Google contacts, previous conversations, whatever contact manager you use, bringing those notes all together. So I have it all in one place. As I walk up to booth number 304, which, in this case was Wake Forest University, I look at my notes first. I'm preparing myself, 1-2 minutes before I go up to that booth, and now I'm coming in as if I, sound like I know what I'm talking about when I have a conversation with someone at that particular booth. All right. So hope that helps out. That was my old school way of doing things. Today, I've noticed that there's a new online planning tool, again, called the My Show Planner. I'm not sure how long this has been available, but I did notice it as I was preparing for this webinar. So I'm probably going to use a combination of my old school spreadsheet and this new My Show Planner. What the My Show Planner does is, if you click on the My Show Planner, it will give you an opportunity to sign up for My Show Planner. I thought I could use by the login that I already have for the National Black MBA Association website, but it didn't seem to work, so I had to create a new login for the My Show Planner in particular. And what My Show Planner helps you do is to keep track of the exhibitors you want to visit, organize sessions and appointments, and create your own calendar, and have all of that in one place within the app itself. So once we click on the My Show Planner, once we set it, log in, set it up, as an example, if we go to the to the, click on the show, on the search the show. You can search by exhibitors. You can search by categories. You can search by featured exhibitors. If you want to, look for a particular company that you want to have an interview with, if you have an interview set up with, you can go in and search for that particular company, as an example. Once we do that search, let's say that, for example, I think I did a search here for the category consulting. It shows a list of consulting companies that are at the career fair, and then you can go back to the floor plan, and you'll see that there are some highlighted orange booths. Those orange booths are the search results, which show all of the consulting companies, as an example. And you can do this for various categories. And then you can, click on one of those or any number of those boxes on each consulting company and add them to your targeted exhibitor list. Show you another example, the category nonprofit. When we save a nonprofit, so I think in this example, I saved 3 of these companies. I saved Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clay Leadership Partners, and MLT. I saved those into the My Show overview. So you see up here it says My Exhibitors. And if I click on Bill and Melinda Gates, it gives a full description of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, what booth number, the description, and then some notes that I added. So you can add your own notes to each of your targeted exhibitors. So this thing that says notes here, said recently had a D&I position posted on LinkedIn. Check if anyone has a connection or knows more information about that D&I position. So you see I'm again combining my knowledge of what's happening on LinkedIn with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation into the planning process for how I will show up at that booth to have a conversation at the conference. After all of that setting up the plan, I'm then able to print off whatever information that I want. And if you see over here in the print the agenda results list, you can add the detailed exhibitor information in that printout, include my exhibitor notes, the booth number, print the agenda, and I would suggest that you print this to PDF as well, because you can save that PDF, save it onto your mobile device, and you will always have it available to you, because you may find yourself again out in the evening on Thursday wishing that you had that note on that person with one particular company and you don't have that piece of paper with you. But if you have that PDF on your mobile device, you can pull it up immediately. Right, so that's ways of using this fantastic tool called the My Show Planner. Let's look real quick at some of the other purposes or some of the other components of the plan. So we're talking about preparing. We just talked about preparing. About learning, of course. You've got a wealth of learning opportunities at the conference. You've got the general sessions. You've got the Leadership Institute. If you have paid for Leadership Institute and or the Entrepreneur Institute, those happen day before general sessions start. I think those happen on Wednesday of conference. Something that's new that I'm not even fully familiar with is the Tech Bar and Tech Bite sessions, making the most out of your mobile tools for conference. So absolutely double click on those, on the information for those 2 brand new resources for conference this year to learn more about them. That's to learn. How about to apply? What are we trying to apply? Well, first and foremost, don't forget, if you are trying to get a job, trying to get that new next career, this is the place to go. Conference is the place. So you can actually apply for jobs before you get to conference and set up those interviews. That is a key resource that happens at conference these days. In addition to, of course, applying for jobs, you want to apply what you've learned. Applying what you've learned in this conversation today, apply what you will learn in preparation, apply what you will learn in a general session on Thursday morning may help you in a conversation back at the exhibitor fair, the career fair on Thursday afternoon. So constantly applying what you're learning, what you're gaining from your conversations. as well. That becomes a critical part of your plan. In the job posting and job matching, there is, as I said, online, the conference job match. And there's two components to conference job match. There's the non-conference component to job matching, I should say, on the website, and then there's the conference component to job matching on the website. So as you navigate through the job matching, you can click on the conference job match, and you can then pull up various organizations that are looking for job placements at conference, as well as companies that will not be at conference that you can also send applications, resume.
Darrell? I think we lost your audio, Darrell. Okay. While we wait for Darrell to rejoin us, I think his line might have dropped. I'm going to unmute the line. And
all guests have been unmuted.
And just ask if anyone has any questions at this point that they'd like to ask regarding conference. Does anyone have any questions?
Hello?
Yes.
I'm not sure if you were able to hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Just was curious how we can get the job match application, I believe.
Okay, have you already registered for conference?
No, I have not, but I'm planning to volunteer the 12 hours.
Okay. I think once you, and Darrell probably can answer this better than I can, but I'll just take a shot while he's logging back in. But I believe once you registered, I think you will get access to log in and then see all the different options that are available for you for, kind of planning for conference. I believe you'll see it at that point.
Okay, but when I asked the people yesterday at the volunteering event, they said if I'm planning to volunteer the 12 hours, I do not need to register. So how can I get this information?
You know what? I'm sorry, I don't have the answer for a volunteer, but let me get the answer from either Latrice or Stephanie. Oh, Latrice, are you on the line there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I can get that information for you from Kimberly.
Oh. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I just realized I was disconnected. Am I here?
Oh, hi, Darrell. Yeah, we lost you there. We were just taking a couple of questions.
Okay.
That's okay. Maybe if you can go for 5 more minutes, and then we'll stop and make sure that we have time to answer people's questions, okay?
Okay. How far did you all hear me? Because I have no idea when I get this.
Well, we're still seeing the conference job match screen, so we lost you during that discussion. But I'm going to go back and mute everybody's line except for Darrell. And so, Darrell, if you could just maybe wrap up, go for another 5 minutes, and then we'll stop for questions.
Absolutely.
All guests have been muted. All guests have been unmuted.
Okay, go ahead, Darrell.
All right, thank you. And our final part of the plan is, of course, networking. I've already mentioned, think ABC. What is ABC? As we learned in whatever the movie was, Glengarry Glen Ross, I think it was, or something. Always be closing. Every opportunity is a opportunity for someone to watch you and observe how you act and interact. And whether you're trying to find a job, whether you're trying to close a client, whether you're trying to simply get better connections, you're always being observed. So keep that in mind. ABC networking, closing, and that involves some of the tips that we've been talking about at Chapter for a couple of years now. Your elevator speech. It's time to put all of that into play at conference. A couple of additional tools. If you have not done so yet, I would absolutely suggest and recommend that you download the app for conference, NBAA 2015 Conference and Expo app. It's available. I've got it on my iPad. I also have it on my Android phone. And again, you can go in there. You can set up your schedule of sessions. I have not figured out how to make it connect to my show planner yet. I don't know if it's a way of doing that. I haven't figured that out yet, so it doesn't look like it connects to it. I'm not 100% sure. Which is why I suggested printing off your My Show Planner as PDF and having that on your mobile device as well. Some additional tools that you may want to consider using. I'm a big fan of Evernote. So as I'm making my spreadsheet and have my Show Planner and the exhibitor list, I'm already loading all of that into a note for conference. That way, I can also, at any interaction, I can add a comment or a note in my Evernote about that particular interaction with that particular person. I'm a big fan of Evernote. It syncs up. I'll probably have you'll see me on conference at the exhibit floor with my iPad. I'll just make notes on my iPad. So I'll make notes in Evernote that syncs up back up to my computer and to my phone. I won't have my iPad out on Thursday night, but I have my phone with me on Thursday night. So if there's a note that I made Thursday afternoon on the exhibitor floor for this particular X company, I can pull that note up Thursday night when I see the person from that company to remind myself what that note was. If you don't have a card scanning app on your phone, again, I would highly recommend getting a card scanning app on your phone. You're going to collect a lot of cards. There's no need these days to keep walking around with a whole bunch of cards. You can I use CamCard as an example. Get those cards, go over to the side every couple of hours or whatever have you, and just scan them into your phone. Again, that way you have it available to you if you see that person a few hours later.
Oh, okay. Which one would you suggest?
The one that I use is CamCard. This is the one that's right here, CamCard. It's cross-platform, so it's available on Android. It's available on iOS. I think it's available on BlackBerry and Windows Mobile as well. But I use it on iOS and Android. And I can't remember how much. I think it was maybe $5 or $4 or something like that. A lot cheaper than the $250 card scanner that I bought before we had these wonderful mobile devices. That became obsolete when I got my Mac. Google Drive. If you're going to do what I did and create the spreadsheet to supplement your My Show Planner, I would suggest that you put that spreadsheet in Google Drive. If you use Google Drive or something of the sort, something that allows you to make some notes in that spreadsheet. So that way, I'll have it on my Google Drive, and I can make those notes directly into the spreadsheet, and have that spreadsheet again available for me at all times on my mobile devices. And whatever your device is, Android, iOS, Windows, or BlackBerry, find the apps that work for you. So your next steps in building your conference plan. Again, use what we've talked about today to prepare. Use those resources online. I spend a day to a day and a half, sometimes 2 days, just in preparation, because I'm pulling in LinkedIn, I'm pulling in my Google contacts, I'm pulling in any conversations I've had at past conference. I'm emailing folks like, hey, you going to conference? Okay, I'll see you there. Da da da. And then now that person's going to be at conference. Let me put them on my exhibitor list. Again, learn. Identify what sessions you're going to go to. Apply what you've learned, and always be closing. So I want to say thanks for the conversation. I apologize for the technical difficulties that we've had. I hope that we've gained something out of this discussion, and we've got about 10 more minutes for Q&A. And please visit me at these various ways of connecting with DC innovation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Darrell. So as a reminder for those who aren't able to view it at this point, we will be sending out the recording. But I would like to open up this floor now to those on the line if you have any questions. Any other questions? No? Okay.
Next questions? Any questions at all? Challenge?
Hi again. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, hi.
Yeah. Hi. I've got one more question, if possible. I got through the conversation just through the phone because I wasn't able to connect on the computer. And I didn't have a clear idea how we can get the floor plan of the conference.
Right. So, again, we're going to send out a copy of the webinar.
Okay.
We recorded it. So we're going to send it out to everybody
Okay.
who's joined us.
Perfect.
And you're also going to get a copy of the slides that Darrell went through. And they have all the links and, screenshots, and then you can go directly to the website and navigate for yourself. So I apologize you couldn't kind of see it as we were going. Some of you were able to do it, some weren't. So, okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're very
Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.
Sure. Was there another question?
Yes, hello. I have a quick question on the job match. How is it that you can request an interview or get on the company's interview schedule? Do you have any tips for that?
Yeah, so somewhere in the website there's when you go to Job Match, you can do a search. When you do the advanced search, you could click on, there's a little button at the bottom that says search only for companies at conference or for jobs at conference, because Job Match is an ongoing tool with National. But in the particular, you can actually do a search for companies that are interviewing at conference, and it will have whatever positions they're setting up for, they're interviewing for, and somewhere in there, I didn't fully navigate through that, but somewhere in there, there's a chance for you to submit your resume to that company and get on their interview schedule while at conference. It's been a long time since I've done that, though. So I think things have kind of changed over the years, but it should all be. You should be able to navigate through the job match portion of the website.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is, sorry we weren't able to get the poll piece working, but I'm curious to know how many folks on the line are joining as a professional versus those who are joining as an entrepreneur. So whatever track that you're on, whether you're pursuing entrepreneurship or pursuing career goals, there's definitely a lot at conference for you to gain, to learn from and to gain. So a lot of what Darrell shared, even if you're not looking for a job, you can still apply like the same tools that he mentioned. You can still apply that to your conference experience as far as tracking your, potential connections for new jobs or partnerships or other opportunities for your business. So it's definitely apply.
Yes, and just to give you an example, people, if you're an entrepreneur, you by now probably know how relationships work. I started a relationship building with someone at a Chicago firm, a Chicago company, that didn't result in business until 5 years later. But we saw each other at conference probably 3 more times at conference. And again, it was just one of those, hey, you going to conference this year? Yeah, okay, I'll see you there. I'll swing by you all's booth, swing by the booth. Oh, you all got a hospitality suite tonight? I'll swing by the hospitality suite. So just doing that a couple of times over a 5-year period, when that person was, they needed to do they wanted to do a business case for diversity. It was 5 years after we had our initial meeting. They called me up and said, hey, Darrell, you know, I'm looking for someone to help me out in the business case. Do you know someone who can do that? I said, yeah, I can. It's like, okay, cool. And they became a client. Right.
Okay. Any other questions? No more questions? Okay. Okay. So
I don't know if that means that we covered all the questions or.
Yeah, I'm hoping we covered everything. So
well,
I guess oh, sorry.
I'll just add that this is my first conference, so you know, the reason is I won't have many questions until I get there, unfortunately. So forgive me if I sound if I'm quiet right now. It's just you know, it's my first time, and I'm just making sure that I'm taking all the notes. And thank you, Darrell, thank you, Neela, for doing this for us. So I am assuming that maybe the other folks are just like myself. We're gleaning what we can, and we're just looking forward to it because we're all excited, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, well, you know, it's great that you mentioned that because last year, this is Leslie Batson, by the way. I look like I'm Neela on the program because I'm logged in using her ID. But this is Leslie Batson, and last year was the first opportunity I had to attend conference, so I completely, totally understand, you know, your position. I will say that I was very impressed with conference. I thought it was a great investment. So for those of you, you know, I know it's not necessarily, you know, the cheapest option out there, but it's definitely an investment in your future that if you apply these tips that Darrell has walked through, you will definitely see the return. It's as a, you know, someone who's only been there one time, I regret that I hadn't gone previously. So you definitely will get a lot out of it. And, you know, we can also send our contact information if you have, you know, specific questions. I can answer them. But Darrell has also shared his information here in the deck. But you can also reach him at darrell@bg-inc.com. Also, I am the co-chair for the fundraiser that we're having the week of conference. We're having a golf tournament, golf clinic, and tennis clinic. So as many of you probably know, one of the best ways that deals get made in business and in career progression is on the golf course. So I encourage you, those who don't know how to golf or may be interested in learning or just refining your skills, I strongly encourage you to consider coming out to the golf clinic. It's on Saturday the 26th. So there will also be folks coming from the conference. Hopefully there'll be executives from some of these companies, and it's just another chance to get their ear at a more intimate setting for a few hours. So it's a great potential opportunity for you. So there's a golf clinic, a tennis clinic, and the golf tournament. So I encourage you all to sign up for those. You can just go to cflblackmba.com or .org. It will direct you to the .com site, but you can go there to get all the information.